Brent relaxed in the grass. He still clung to feelings of shame after what happened. No one blamed him, and it all ended well, but he still felt that way. The beating of wings drew his gaze to the sky. Something flew above him, casting a shadow over the adventurer's face. It swooped down to the ground. Solid hooves pounded the grass. Neighing, it galloped along the field before slowing to a trot. Brent looked on in awe. This was a rare beast, one he had heard of but never seen before. Welcome to Mythical Phylogeny, adventurers. I'm your guide, Jason. Today, we look at Pegasus, the legendary winged horse, and his bizarre story. Pegasus comes from Greek mythology. He is a child of Medusa and Poseidon, and also has a twin brother, the giant Chrysaor, who was born from the blood dripping from Medusa's severed head as Perseus flew away after slaying her. His horse-like form ties back to Poseidon, who is often associated with horses. Pegasus appears as a white horse with wings of a bird. Among the many feats of Pegasus, he created Hippocrene, a fountain on Mount Helicon. When his foot struck the ground, it is a spring that would be sacred to the Muses. Eventually, the hero Bellerophon found and tamed Pegasus with the help of Poseidon and Athena. Together, Bellerophon and Pegasus battled the poisonous Chimera. Later, they fought the Amazons by dropping boulders from the sky. Finally, his rider Bellerophon grew arrogant and thought himself the equal to the gods and sought to take his place on Mount Olympus. But Zeus rejected him. Bellerophon fell, but his and Pegasus's fate depends on the tale. Either Bellerophon fell to his death, or he survived the fall, but was blinded and crippled, left to lament his failure and hubris for the rest of his days. But Pegasus is said to have either died from Zeus's lightning bolt, or was taken by Zeus to carry his lightning bolts. For such a plain beast, he has achieved much. So, now we need to figure out how to make a horse fly. And no, we can't just slap wings on it, and everything will work. And there are a lot of problems here. Horses and birds are specialized for many things, and they don't match very well. The first issue is configuring the muscles for the wing attachments, but they are on the chest and back for birds. But a horse needs those same muscles for their legs. Muscle strength can be increased by three ways: longer muscles, thicker muscles, or wider muscles. Since we can't practically increase the length, we will need to make the muscles thicker. It'll give Pegasus a bulkier appearance, and that isn't going to help. I would also place the wing bones and muscles posterior to the front legs, but we will need to extend the ribs to provide for muscle attachments on the chest. In addition, we will need to extend the sternum outward to form a keel for the muscles to attach. It is the pec muscles which are critical for flight. Most horses can range from 900 to 2,200 pounds, 410 to 1,000 kilograms, depending on the breed. But the smallest is the Shetland pony, around 500 pounds, which puts it at the same size as the largest flying animal in the fossil records, Quetzalcoatlus. It was estimated to weigh 500 pounds, 226 kilograms, with a wingspan between 50 and 80 feet, 15.2 meters and 24.4 meters. And do you see the problem here? How big would Pegasus's wings need to be? We are looking at hundreds of feet long. Sorry, but that isn't possible. You would need to pump blood through the wings, which would be increasingly difficult with such long wings, and the weight of those wings alone would be enormous. you're going to need to lose some weight. A lot of weight. Birds are hyper-specialized for flight. Their bones are hollow, and Pegasus will absolutely need that. They also have a unilateral respiratory system that prevents the mixing of new and old air with each breath. This is critical to maintain high energy demand of flight. And now we need to look at the wings. If you haven't spent days looking at wings, you may not have noticed that they have a couple of different wing types. There are 5 types. Hovering wings of hummingbirds, and has a modified flight pattern, giving them omnidirectional flight. High-speed wings are found on falcons, ducks, and terns, and allows for fast movement and good distance flight. Elliptical wings are found on crows, geese, and sparrows, and offers good maneuverability and turns, but needs more work to stay airborne. Passive soaring are good for long flights, with maneuverability, and are found on eagles, hawks, and storks. This type of wing allows the owner to catch thermal updrafts, to fly with minimal work. Lastly, we have the active soaring wings, which allows for the longest distance flights with the least amount of energy needed, and birds such as albatrosses and gulls have, but offer horrible maneuverability. Now, wing shapes serve a purpose and promote a lifestyle, and we will need to figure out what Pegasus would do here. We have a horse, which is a herbivore, so we don't need to chase down prey. Now, the active soaring wings are found on ocean birds, ones that need to stay airborne for extended periods of time. Now, Pegasus won't need to do that. Hovering wings offer the most mobility, but are unlikely to be able to support such a large body. The elliptical wings are designed for flitting between branches, and doesn't fit Pegasus. Horses tend to prefer open grasslands, not dense forests. It seems we are left with 2 predominant options: passive soaring and high speed. But we can look back at Quetzalcoatlus. It is speculated they had very long and slender wings, either more akin to the active soaring or high speed wings. This could potentially work, even if the passive soaring wings can offer more power, though not ideal at that weight. I think Pegasus would need to be a pretty small horse. Now, the horses of today are actually much bigger than those in the past due to selective breeding, which works in our favor here. So let's go with a low estimate for weight, 500 pounds. The Shetland pony is about 46 inches or 116 centimeters, which would be pretty small for a grown man to ride on though. It means we'll probably need a larger horse type. Sadly, direct comparisons with birds and horses are difficult due to the way their bodies are designed. Like I said, there are a lot of problems here. Oh, and it gets better. Remember when I said that Bellerophon and Pegasus drop boulders on the Amazons? So it needs the strength to carry boulders. For most birds, they can carry about 108% of their body weight. So a grown man plus a boulder? That is a lot of weight to put on Pegasus. To carry all that weight, again, we'll need to bolster Pegasus's body, but that adds more weight to carry with flight. Though I'm not sure how long it would need for takeoff. For a duck which have the high-speed wings, they need to get up to at least 60 miles an hour, 96.6 kilometers per hour, which can take 30 to 50 feet, 9 to 15 meters. Pegasus is much larger and heavier, thus it may need more speed to take off. A horse can sprint up to 45 miles per hour, 70 kilometers per hour, much slower than the duck's takeoff, but it can add in the wings in addition to the legs. Chances are it will need to get much faster than 60 miles per hour to take off. To get the needed speed, it will need a longer runway and require more time. Yeah, not a good situation. Quetzalcoatlus was believed to jump to help with its takeoffs, and Pegasus may need to do something similar. Now some stories say that Pegasus survived Zeus's lightning strike. But if a bird is hit by lightning while airborne, it will probably die, mostly due to its small size. But Pegasus is much bigger and might survive being electrocuted, though most birds avoid flying during storms due to the wind. Pegasus may have the same aversion to flying in storms, and the sound of lightning may have scared him, which caused him to throw Bellerophon from his saddle. But he may have learned to tolerate the sound and storms with further training with Zeus. Now, how would you fight Pegasus? Well, first problem is it can fly. That means most encounters will begin while it is on the ground. If I am right, it will have difficulty taking off, so you'll want to ambush it. Pegasus can run quickly, which will limit the option of wielding swords or other such weapons in battle. Pegasus can run quickly, which will limit the option of wielding swords or other such weapons in battle. If you can get within range, you'll probably break the fragile bones. Your best bet would be to use ranged weapons. Bows and crossbows will let you strike without getting within range. Magic will be invaluable here, ice and lightning in particular. The lightning will be too fast for it to react to, but ice gives more options. Ice can be used to immobilize its feet, or freeze the ground to prevent running, and that could prevent it from flying. But there is another option. If you can weigh it down with enough ice or mud, it can't fly, even if it can walk. But if you can use any blunt form impact from a boulder or a block of ice, it will break its bones. If forced to fight up close, its legs can deliver powerful blows. A horse's kick can hurt, but unless in the head, they are rarely fatal. Plate armor would do the best to cushion the blow, but other types will also work. Horses have been known to bite at times, but their teeth are designed for chewing grass and not ripping flesh apart. This is a low threat. It could strike with its wings, and due to their length, can produce plenty of power. But if covered in feathers, it will cushion some of the force, and the wings will have a limited range of motion to strike. The real challenge will be if it gets airborne. It can quickly escape your reach. At a few 100 feet up, good luck hitting it. But if it has a rider, things are different. They can drop things. Not just boulders, but metal spikes. World War I pilots would drop metal flechettes to take down enemies. No gunpowder or magic, just gravity. The perfect weapon for a rider to bring. Much lighter than a boulder, and it would offer more shots. Against this, I'd have a good shield overhead, or a thick helmet. Regardless, you would probably feel the impact. Best to get to cover and run away. If you can fly, you could give chase. Aerial maneuverability will be key. You'll need speed to close the distance. Though you could force it to the ground if you could use magic to create a storm. Strong winds would make it difficult to fly. You could also try heavy smoke or poison gas. Due to the unilateral lung design of birds, they are more susceptible to poison gas. You've heard of the canary in the coal mine. The unilateral lung system will bring in pure smoke and gas with each breath, rather than dilute it with used air. This won't be easy due to the wind created by beating of its wings. Pegasus isn't an ideal combatant. Alone, he has only a few means to attack, and none are perfect killing tools. Its best bet is to run away and stay airborne. Adding the wings has actually made it weaker and less effective in a fight than a normal horse or bird. It just got to be a bigger target and weaker bones. That is why I am giving Pegasus a 2 of 10 for difficulty. It shouldn't be a difficult battle, so long as it's alone. Pegasus is a powerful ally. You can cross great distances in the safety of the sky. If Pegasus can carry a boulder, he could also bring goods and important things. If you can get a team of Pegasus, they could carry a full wagon and chariot. Not pulling it in a line, but a four-cornered approach to flight. But that could make takeoff and landing more complicated. Pegasus could allow for mail delivery systems and speed up communication across the world. This would allow information to be shared at a rapid rate during times of conflict. Even if Pegasus doesn't join the battle, he can scout from up high. Seeing a horse a couple 1,000 feet in the air is tough, doubly so at night. But a campfire is easy, or 100 campfires. Tents and marching armies become comically easy to find. Yes, Pegasus could be an incredibly powerful ally when used correctly. Of course, you could slay it, take the meat, leather, and feathers. That would be a real waste. Brent gazed in awe at Pegasus. It looked to him, neighed, and flapped its wings. Running away, it jumped and landed, and jumped and landed, beating its wings with each attempt. Finally, it gained the momentum needed and soared high above. Brent looked up in amazement and reveled in the sound of its beating wings. Just watching it put his mind at ease. Breathing easily, he got up, ready to return to his calling. Pegasus is an interesting creature, to say the least. He has been a great boon to anyone who can ride him. Thank you for watching Adventures. Please return next week, where we shall meet the Basilisk. And I might lose my mind on this one. Until then, I'll see you on the roads.